everyone. In today's video we are going to discuss about the plus minus problem in the HackerRank platform. So if you are unable to find this question, please do search for this question in the search bar of the HackerRank platform. And now uh, let's see how we have to solve this problem and what is the procedure to find the correct solution. So let's go to the description first. So in this problem, we have a function called plus minus. So we have to complete that function. And let's see what we have to do. So in this complete problem, we will get there is an array of integers and we have to calculate their ratios, which are positive, negative and 0. And we have to print the decimal value of each fraction on a new line with 6 places after the decimals. So how we have to do is, we will receive one array in this way as a parameter, and we will have some number of elements in it, and we don't know how many elements are there in it. So we will get the length of the array also as a parameter to the function. And after that, what we have to do, for each element we have to iterate through each element, and then we have to find whether the number is positive number or negative number or 0. So what we have to do, all the positive numbers should be added to 1. I mean one integer or one number, okay, one count, let's say. And all the negative numbers also we have to add it to the one more thing. And all the zeros, since 0 is neither positive and non-negative, we have to add all the zeros to one one variable. Okay, we have to maintain the count of the positive numbers, count of the negative numbers and count of the zeros. And using the array length of the array, we will receive parameter as a parameter, right? So we will take that array and we have to find, for example, in this array how many positive numbers are there. 2 positive numbers are there. And what is the total size of the array? 1 2 3 and 4 5. So 5. So positive numbers will be 2 by 5, their ratio. And let's go for negative numbers now. How many negative numbers are there? 2, -1 and -1. So again 2 by 5. Okay, now how many zeros are there? Only 1 0. So 1, and in the denominator you have to take the length of the array, which is 5. Now we have calculated the ratios, and now we have to print these ratios in each line, I mean separate line, in this way up to 6 decimal places. This is the complete problem, and we have to solve this. And let's go to the function description now. We have a plus minus, function name is plus minus. We will receive array of integers, and also we will receive the length of the array as inputs or parameters, let's say. And we have to write the logic, and we have to print the logic. Here we shouldn't return any value to the function, only we have to print the value. Okay, proportion of positive, negative and zeros. We should not return any value to the function call. So now let's solve this question. So I have selected C as a programming language, and this complete code is given by the HackerRank, so you don't have to write any code, only you have to complete this function plus minus as per the question they have given here. We should just complete the plus minus function in the editor. And since we should not return any value to the function call, the return type is void, so you should not return anything, you should print in the function itself. And as we discussed, we will receive the length of the array, which is ARR_count, and then we will receive all the array elements as a pointer. Now let's complete the logic here. First, let's take one int variable as I. Why? Because we have to iterate each element inside the array, so I'm taking it as I. You can take any other value as well. And now, since they have mentioned that the values are float values, which we have to calculate the ratios, we'll take all the numbers as float. So what I'm doing is, I will take the count of the positive numbers as a variable, like positive count. Okay, positive count, pos_count, I'll take it as pos_count. And for the negative numbers, neg_count. And then for 0, 0_count. Okay, these are for just finding the positive, how many positive numbers are there, how many negative numbers are there, and how many zeros are there. We can take this as integers as well. Since count means only we will increase the count by 1 only, so we can take this count, or also float is fine, because we will find the ratio again 2 by 5 like this. So again we have to convert there to the float data type. So that's why I'm declaring them as float only here. So no problem, you can go for int and then you can typecast the data type later. And I will take for this ratio, I'll take POS underscore ratio, positive ratio, and then negative underscore ratio, and then 0 underscore ratio. Okay, these are the complete declaration, how many variables we need, that is this line. And now we will write the for loop for each element, right? For I equal to 0, we know that the array indexing starts from 0, so declare it with 0. And I less than ARR underscore count, we have to make sure that the number of iterations should be less than the actual array count, and then take I plus plus for incrementing the value. And inside this, what we have to write, we have to make sure that we will separate all the positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0. So I'll write if condition inside this. So if array of I, that means array is this one, okay? If the element of the array is, how do we say positive, negative? If the number is greater than 0, then it should be positive numbers. So what I'll do, I'll increment 1 for this positive count, okay? POS count, I'll increase this value, okay? You can also, plus. You can also declare this count variables as int and equate them to 0. That also will work, and this also will work. And now what we have to write, else if array of I, that means if the number is not greater than 0, then we have to check for the other condition, right? It is less than 0, then what? If it is less than 0, we say it as negative number, so increment the value of it. If it is not negative number and if it is not positive number, then what we will say, it is a 0, so we have to increment the 0 count as well. Okay, we have completed the function. Now what we have to do, we have to just calculate the ratios. How we have to calculate? Just this count by total size of the array, which is array underscore count. So positive ratio is equal to POS count underscore count, right? Count divided by ARR underscore count. So this is how you will calculate the ratio. Okay, now negative ratio is equal to negative underscore count divided by array underscore count. And for 0 ratio, you have to do 0 count divided by ARR underscore count. So this is how you will find the ratios. The same this theory part we are just applying here in the logic. See, same 2 by 5, you will get the values as this way only. Positive count is 2 and then array count is 5. So this is how you have to do. And the final what we have to do, we have to printf. What is the float decimal specifier? Percentile f and then positive ratio. First we'll print positive and then negative, so likewise. Okay, why do we get here too? Okay, and then I'll just copy this. Yeah, now here it should be negative ratio and then it should be 0 ratio. Okay, this is how you have to write the logic. And one more thing, they have mentioned for 6 decimal places, you can also print this way, or you can go for the logic. We will have dot 6f. That means up to 6 decimals it will print. Okay, this logic will work. So let's see what all we are returning. Okay, and the return type is void, so we should not return anything. And we have, as per the question, we have completed the logic, and let's run our code. Yes, we have cleared our test cases, and this is how you have to solve the question. And make sure that you should not return any value, because there is no return type for it. So in all the previous videos and all the previous questions, most of them are having the return type, so we have returned the value. Here we are not returning, and in the question they explicitly mentioned to print the value, so we are not returning it, we are just printing it. That's all. Thank you.